episode of Classic Gamer 74. I am your host, Anthony Gamer, and I am Red Duck Fox. And today we're going to be talking about Flash games. As many of you are aware, Flash was discontinued in January 2001. And when that happened, we lost a lot of games, videos, etc. A lot of stuff like that was basically gone, as Windows was no longer going to support it. Oh no, and so a lot of cool games and stuff that came off websites that were made, specifically for a product or for a cartoon or whatever, were lost. Yep. And since then, a lot of people have been working hard to archive and preserve a lot of these games and videos and other things such as that. And they've done a pretty good job. Now, a lot of the games that I used to play back in the day, the Flash games, I have been able to locate, thank goodness. Either I had them backed up on my computer, my old computer, or I was able to find them using the Infinity emulator. Oh yeah, that's a really good emulator there. It is, and every day they seem to find more and more stuff. So when it comes to Flash games, I honestly have to say probably the two most well-known Flash games, or the ones that kind of were the breakthrough games, have to be the original Elf Bowling that was released by N-Storm, and Snowcraft, two Christmas-themed games that I've talked about in other episodes, so we're not going to talk about them too much, other than just mentioning them as being probably two of the most well-known out of the early ones. So today we're going to look at some of my personal favorite Flash games that I've recovered using the Infinity app, and a couple of them I had locked away on my old computer. So without further delay, let's get into the games. Are you ready? Oh yeah, I'm ready when you are. Okay, so let's look at some Flash games. And our first game for today there is Armadillo Alley. Now this is just like Elf Bowling. As a matter of fact, it was made by the same people at N-Storm. And this one, you're a sheriff and you're trying to bowl the outlaws here, and you're using an armadillo. So it's kind of like Elf Bowling, except for, with a Wild West theme to it. Kind of a fun game, and, it's a guilty pleasure. What can I say? Now, not all of these games are going to be the highest quality. A lot of them you kind of just got to take with a grain of salt and remember that this was... some of these games were, in the later part of the 20th century. So anyway, in this one, made by a company called Texas Knights, we have beer goggles. In this game, you are this fat loser kind of guy, and there's a homely looking woman sitting at the bar, and you are drinking enough to drink her pretty. Yep. Okay, that's pretty much all I'm going to say about this one. 20 years ago, it was funny, but, And our buddies at N-Storm are back again here with chicken archery. In this game, you take on the role of this hillbilly there, and you're trying to shoot chickens like a bow and arrow at this, I think it's some kind of monster is in the outhouse there, and then, you're just kind of shooting at other stuff too. Yeah, definitely a game that nowadays I don't really think this would go over too well with some people, but, you just gotta kind of lighten up a little bit. That's what I think. Okay, and next up there, we got a game that both you and I really enjoyed. I think you more than me, because I think your last boss really inspired you to play this here game a lot. Well, not my last boss. Oh, I mean your last security boss. Oh, definitely. And that is Don't Whack Your Boss. There's 19 different ways to whack your boss in this game. This is kind of like one of those games you play instead of doing it in real life. And it's really kind of therapeutic. Yeah, it's very, very brutal, but you know what? Who cares? Like I said, some folks really need to lighten up. And we're going to post this game all the way through and show you all the different ways to do it. So if you haven't played this game before, seek it out, because it's really a whole lot of fun. And speaking of which, it's funny how a lot of these games I found on here over the years are boss related. Oh yeah, that's for sure. And this one is My Dear Boss. In this game, your boss doesn't like your proposal, or in
makes fun of you, so you kick him out the window. Now there's all kinds of cool power-ups. There's stuff you can bounce him off of, like cars and fire hydrants, and there's 3 different levels. You're trying to kick him to the hospital, kick him home, and kick him into the graveyard. It's a really fun game. One, again, that is very therapeutic. And if you get a chance to find this one too, I highly recommend it because it's just so much fun and just funny as can be. All right, next up, this is a game that I have kind of a personal connection to. This is called N. I think N is short for ninja. Yeah, that makes sense. In this game, you take on the role of this unnamed ninja, and you are trying to collect gold and escape from the level. There are just so many levels in this game. It's just a fun game. It's kind of strategy too. You can climb up walls and stuff. It's just really a lot of fun. About 15 years ago, some students of mine introduced me to this game, and yeah, it's pretty addictive. Sometimes it's fun just to get the ninja killed and stuff, but it's a lot of fun. It's highly addictive. I'm not sure if this has been archived. I had this on my old computer, so I'm not exactly sure if it has been archived yet, but if you can find it, give it a try. Okay, now we're going back to the world of bowling here for a little bit. Now, I can't speak for everyone out there, and I don't try to, but I've been a Flintstones fan all my life, I tell you what. Oh, you and me both. And I always wanted them to make a Flintstones bowling game. Not like that travesty they made for PS1 that was just, I don't know. Anyway, in this one, this is Flintstones Bedrock Bowling, and you're doing what Fred loved to do best, and that's bowling. Really a fun game there. If you're a Flintstones fan, if you like bowling games, this is a must-play. And while we're on the subject of bowling and Hanna-Barbera characters, we have Tom and Jerry Bowling. Quite a regular bowling game here, except Jerry is trying to distract Tom and help and prevent him from getting a high score. That's pretty much it. If you're a Tom and Jerry fan and a bowling fan, you're going to really love this game. And who doesn't love Tom and Jerry? All right, next up we have from Armor Games, Hobo. Now in this game, it's pretty much a beat 'em up. You take on the role of an angry hobo and you just go around and beat up people. That's pretty much it. This was the first time I played this. I found on POG.com. It's a really fun game. I think one of my students told me about it, and you get some really messed up power-ups. Yeah, pretty disgusting power-ups, but the game itself is really a lot of fun. Just walk around and beat up people. If you haven't tried this out, give it a try. It's been archived, and there are about 4 sequels to it, so give it a try. Let us know what you think. Now, I'm not a big baseball fan. When I was young, I was. Yeah, me too. But I'll tell you, this game is so much fun. Now, this was on the Lifesavers website, and this is Home Run Rally. In this game, you try to hit as many home runs as you can in a set amount of time and a set amount of swings. Really a whole lot of fun. Just knocking it out of the park. Really, it's a lot of fun when you do that. Surprisingly, really addictive, and get a chance to try this one out. Even if you're not a big baseball fan, the game is just fun, period. Okay, and next up, once again from the brilliant minds of Endstorm or Envision, I think it's the same people, we have Frogapult. Oh yeah, I love this game. Here you're trying to launch a frog and get him onto that little, target there, but you gotta be careful because you got piranhas in the water and there's spikes over there, and you have to get so many during the level in order to move on. I tell you, this is a fun game here, but I'm sure some people in these sensitive times would probably not like it, but you know what? Who cares? Now, before I get into the next series of games, I always have to say that there are some people behind the scenes that you may not know about. My wife, Verl, and my daughter, Joanna. And Joanna suggested this next series of games, and these are the Papa's games. The first one is Papa's Pizzeria. Now, in this game, you take on the role of an employee, and Papa, the boss and owner of the restaurant, has decided to let you run the place. So you have to take take people's orders, decorate the pizzas as they want, cook it just right, and serve the pizza. Now, that sounds kind of easy. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that game that you and Larry was playing there, that Pizza Chef. Well, yeah, except for this one, you've got more than one pizza sometimes coming at a time, and you got to keep them straight and make sure people get their pizzas correct, and then your tips are dependent upon how happy the customer is. Really a fun game and surprisingly addictive. Now, this is just one of the games in the series. Now, there's actually several games in this series, but we're just going to talk about 3. And this next one here is Papa's Burgeria. In this game, you win a contest and you won the restaurant, basically. So you're doing kind of the same thing there, except for this time you're making burgers. Yeah, this one's kind of fun, but I know you were having a little bit of trouble there remembering when to flip the burgers, which is funny because you worked at McDonald's when you were in high school. Yeah, but that was a little different. But anyway, yeah. So this one too is really a lot of fun, but it can get pretty intense pretty quickly too. And the last one there in this series that we're going to talk about today is Papa's Taco Mia. Now, in this game here, which is actually probably the most difficult of these 3, by far, you win a taco eating contest, and the prize is you win the restaurant. So you're doing the same thing. You're making tacos here. Now, this one's a little more difficult because you kind of got to be a little steadier with your hand and put the lettuce and the tomatoes and the sauce in there and everything, and grilling the meat. Yeah, so it's a little bit more involved, but it's still just as much fun as the others. Well, that's correct. Now, all these games have been archived. You'll find them on the Infinity emulator. So give them a try and let us know what you think. And our final game for today is Oysterhead. Now, if you're not familiar with Oysterhead, it's a supergroup that features Les Claypool of Primus, guitarist Trey Anastasio of Phish, and drummer Stuart Copeland of Police. They formed back in 2000, and they've been kind of on and off ever since. Now, this was created, this Flash game was created as like a promotional thing for the band, and it was actually thought to be lost. It had been lost for like several years until it was recently found and archived. So, being a big fan of Les Claypool, I had to add this. So, once again, big congratulations to the Lost Media community for locating this. As time goes on, let's hope more and more Flash games are found and are able to be archived, so that even though Flash itself is gone, the games themselves can be enjoyed by a new generation of gamers. In our next episode, we're going to discuss an instant classic, and that is Wrestling Empire.
Well, that brings this episode of Classic Gamer 74 to an end. I really hope you all enjoyed it. I sure did. Well, I did too. And if you did enjoy this video, let us know by giving us a great big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to click that little bell icon down there so you'll be notified when we upload new episodes. Connect with us on all our social media platforms. And check out our Patreon. We got some cool new stuff on there, including our annual Christmas special. Well, it's a little bit darker than you're used to, but you can check it out on Patreon. So please be generous and help us out on Patreon. Whether you donate $1, $5, or $10, you always get access to all the bonus stuff. So please help us out on Patreon. It'd be greatly appreciated. The link is in the description below. Well, until next time, I'm Anthony Gamer, and I am Red the Fox, and we will see you on the next episode. Until that time, be strong, be safe, be happy, be healthy, and above all, take care of each other, be kind to each other, and stop hate of all kinds. See you guys soon. Bye. Bye, everyone.